Indicate whether negative 2, 5 is a solution to each equation. You're going to replace negative 2 in the x position and 5 in the y position. I'm looking at this last equation. In the parentheses, 5 minus 4 is 1. Here, negative 2 plus 3 is 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. Those are not equal, so that means negative 2, 5 is not a solution. If both sides do come out equal to each other, then we would say that negative 2, 5 is a solution. Today our focus question is, which car will win the race? The information we have so far is that the first car starts before the second car. We can also see that the distance of the race, since this is a football field, is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yards, or 30 feet. So you can add that to the section where it asks about information we know. If we watch the head start of the car, it appears that it is about 2 yards further when this car begins to take off. But we do not know the speeds of the cars, so you can write some information about, or a question about, what is the speed of each car. In this clip, we'll get to see a little bit more detail about the race. We can see that at 2.236 seconds, the first car has gone approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 yards. And this second car, at 1.134 seconds, it has gone 0 yards, but by 2.36 seconds, 2.236 seconds, it's gone approximately 4 yards. So we know that this first car has a head start of about 2 yards. And then continues and this first one doesn't get a head start and continues to 4 yards at that same time. So we can use this information to help us put together some table or some equation to help solve who will win the race. So you might come up with a plan to create a table. So it may look something like this. The X would be the time in seconds, and the Y would be the distance. And you could do that for both cars and see who would reach a distance equal to the distance of the race first. You might also come up with an equation. Based on this image, it appears that it's going to be about 9.5 yards for the race. So based on this first car, if we were to find the rate, we could divide 5.5 by 2.236 to figure out the blue car's or the first car's race. So 5.5 divided by 2.236 is an approximate rate of 2.4597. For the other car, 4 minus 0 divided by 2.236 minus 1.134 will give us the slope of the second, which is approximately 3.6298. But it was also behind by 1.134 seconds. So then if we wanted to solve it for when they both reached 9 yards, or 9.5 yards, excuse me, we would substitute this 9.5 into the Y position. X represents the seconds, but Y represents the distance. So we have 9.5 equals 2.4597x. We would divide by 2.4597 on both sides. And we would get an approximation for how many seconds it would take the first car to reach 9.5 yards. And that is approximately 3.8623 seconds. And for this one, we will have to distribute as well. So we have 9.5 here. This is going to get distributed. .6298 times 1.134 comes out to 4.162-ish. We'll use the whole thing for the sake of rounding off at the very end. Add that big old decimal to both sides. That leaves us with 3.6298x. And if we add 9.5 and 4.11, so on, we'd get 13.6161932. Divide both sides by this decimal. And now we can round, we get about 3.7512 seconds. So the results, if they both are reaching 9.5 yards, This one reaches it in about 3.75 seconds, and this one reaches it in about 3.86 seconds. So my results predict that the second car will win because it reaches 9.5 yards sooner than the first car. Now, some assumptions that we made here are that they are traveling at a constant speed and they're both traveling the same distance, which, depending on whether the car takes a curve or speeds up or slows down, can change our results. Let's see if our prediction was correct. It appears that they both come in at about the same time. That is the end of lesson 1 for module 5.